Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the first series on the channel. We're going to be doing a Dynasty mode for College Football Revamped, NCAA 14 mod, and I'm excited to start a new Dynasty here. I've been playing Dynasty on this game quite a long time, and figured I'd start a channel, see if anybody wants to follow along on the journey here. I just started using the Fangs recruiting tool, wanted to sort of start a new dynasty using that from the start and see how it goes. So this is kind of seemed like a good opportunity to start a channel and make a series on it. So here, picking the playbooks here, my comfort zone is really triple option, sort of running the ball about 80% of the time. With the Ole Miss playbook, so I've gotten really good at running the option, as a lot of people I'm sure have on this game. So to kind of break out of my comfort zone a little bit, I'm going more with a sort of traditional run game, play action type of offense, trying to cheese the game a little bit less and sort of run more of a realistic type of offense, at least in terms of the option being so heavy is you don't really see that much in real life. So going with Alabama's playbook and going with a 4-3 defense. Again, typically I'm running a 3-4 defense. I want to kind of focus a little more on the edge rushing, man blitz type of pass rush rather than dropping 7 or 8 guys in coverage. So I figure having a big front 7 is going to be a good way to kind of go about that. So just trying something new here, trying to keep the game fresh. We've got the level 20 starting level. I don't like sort of starting at level 1 and grinding my way. I've done that enough times now to where I just kind of want to start at level 20, put me on the fastest progression rate, and let's try to get to a high caliber school as quickly as we can. So we're going to go that route. We're going to start with the included rosters for the 2023 rosters for College Football Revamped, which are not entirely complete in this current state of the game. So you'll see that here in a little bit. But I just go Heisman base sliders, and it works all right for me. So you guys can do what you want on yours, but that's kind of where my comfort zone is, and I kind of like the way the game shakes out there. So as far as penalties go, I'm pro fun, so I turn off face mask clipping and roughing the passer. Those just aren't fun in a video game. I get realism, but at a certain point, you kind of want to just have fun. So that's how I go about it. 7-minute quarters. Game speed is on normal. Speed threshold I put about 10. And like I said, Heisman on both. And that's kind of where I play. I play every snap, so I don't simulate defense. You're going to see every play of the game. So moving on to custom conferences. I went ahead and did this in the background. I'm going to go ahead and show you where I ended up with it. With the ACC, we've got Louisville added to the Atlantic side. I don't really think they're doing anything with divisions next year, but I'm kind of going off of the next year realignment. So we've got California and Stanford on the other side as well. So that's kind of where we're at for the ACC. I might have missed a couple of teams, but we're at the max capacity here, so you can't really, the game kind of limits you in that way. So can't really fit more than 16 teams in the conference, so that's kind of where we ended up. American Conference, kind of the new Conference USA in a way. They kind of took most of their teams, so like I said, most of the divisions I just kind of wing it. So East, West, whatever, just kind of roughly throw them into one category or another. Anybody is real passionate about rivalries, those might get screwed over, but it's the American Conference, it's not going to be a huge deal. We did keep Rutgers in the American because there wasn't enough room in the Big Ten for 18 teams. So back to the Big 12, we got the 2 Arizona teams added to the desert side. Put all the Texas teams and Oklahoma State, Iowa State, threw those on the desert side, and on the outskirts we've got the other new teams in Utah, Colorado, BYU, Cincinnati. Those teams are going to be in the outskirts as opposed to the desert. Moving on to the Big Ten, we don't have enough room for 2 teams, so unfortunately Northwestern got the boot, and we didn't throw Rutgers in there, so we've got on the East, sort of your classic Big Ten powerhouses, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and in the West you got the new teams, Oregon, USC, Washington, UCLA. Most of the teams that were added to the Conference USA are unfortunately not in this game, so these are the 4 that are, and then the rest of them are sort of FCS teams. So like I said, Northwestern got the boot from the Big Ten, so they're going to be independent this season, along with Notre Dame. And I went back in the video to explain that here. So after that, it's going to be the MAC, which I believe barely changed, if at all. So MAC should be the same, as well as the Mountain West Conference, largely the same as it was before. So Pac-12 in real life is left with Oregon State and Washington State, but since you can only have a minimum of 4 teams in a conference on this game, I went ahead and threw in Army and Navy. For the SEC, only big changes are obviously Oklahoma and Texas being added, and then to accommodate that, I went ahead and moved Alabama and Auburn to the east and Missouri to the west, and then put Oklahoma and Texas in the west there. So that is the SEC. And then next on the list would, I believe, be the Sun Belt. Yep. Bunch of new teams added here. I think Marshall's new here. Old Dominion, James Madison, Coastal, App State. A lot of new teams in the Sun Belt. So that's conference realignment, and we're going to get into the preseason. Oh, well, we got to pick a team first. So I basically narrowed it down here to 2 teams. I don't typically like to start with like a 1-star team, build my way up. Like I said, I've done that plenty of times. I kind of wanted to start with like a mid-tier team that kind of realistically, like in real life, might be struggling this season and might be looking at a new coach. So I kind of narrowed it down to a couple of teams, both in the Big 12. It's going to be between Houston and Cincinnati. Houston's a team right now that's 3-3 in real life and struggling. Maybe a team that people thought would be more like a 5-1 team at this point in the season, and they're not trending in a positive direction. So I think there's a realistic chance that they could be looking at a new head coach next season. Same with Cincinnati. They're sitting at 2-4, a team that was, I believe, in the playoffs a year or 2 ago. So definitely not the direction you want to be going in as a program there. So especially moving into the Big 12. So Cincinnati's another one I thought about, but I think we are ending up going to go with Houston. I think Texas is a little bit better state to recruit in, even though it is a little more competitive. Definitely going to be a solid state in terms of pipeline states, and you know, a good program with some recent success. So yeah, we're going to go with Houston. I went through all of the recruiting, setting up the recruiting board and scouting, and talked over all of it, and obviously kind of messed up the audio there. So, you know, I'm kind of showing you kind of what I was doing, just basically going through and scouting sort of the high interest guys that are interested in the program and narrowing it down to a few that we want to make offers on. So a lot of needs for the team in the following season, because the new roster for Revamped is a little bit skewed in terms of the player, what year they are. So a lot of seniors, a lot of upperclassmen. So first couple of seasons, recruiting is going to be kind of crucial in terms of rebuilding the team up from what it was. So anyways, setting the depth chart here. Had to go through and rename a bunch of players because all their names weren't in there, but we got that all taken care of and set up for week 1. So I'm going to have to re-record audio for week 1 as well, but starting with week 2, I will have live commentary of the recruiting and the games and stuff. So kind of do a little bit of a fast-forwarded recruiting for week 1 and then move on into the game. So we'll see you guys in week 1.